Hello guys, it's teacher Yolanda here. Welcome to our session 34. For this session we're going to need our student's book, workbook, and also our English notebook and of course the PDF file. Please go and get them. Today we're going to be practicing with reading and listening abilities and skills. So let's open our student's book at page 112. It says, read the article and match the questions from the box with the answers. What are the questions? This one. So, what's the truth? Where is it? What is it? What has happened there? The title is, It's a Weird World, the Bermuda Triangle. Look at the text and look at the pictures. We're going to check the answers in a moment, so please pause the video and do the activity. Okay, so let's start checking the answers. It says, it's a weird world, the Bermuda Triangle. Question 1. What is it? The Bermuda Triangle is an area at sea where many ships and planes have disappeared mysteriously. Nobody can say where they went. Question 2. Where is it? The Bermuda Triangle is in the Atlantic Ocean. The corners of the triangle are Florida, Bermuda, and Puerto Rico. Question 3. What has happened there? These are two of the famous disappearances. In 1918, a ship called the US Cyclops disappeared in the area. None of the 306 people on board were ever seen again. In 1945, a group of fighter planes disappeared. While they were flying over the area, the pilots said they could see strange lights in the sky on the radios. The next day, another plane went to look for the missing planes. This plane also disappeared. So, what's the truth? No one really knows. Some people say that there is nothing mysterious about the area at all. They say that there are a lot of ships in this area, so it's not surprising that sometimes ships go missing. They also say that the bad weather in the area causes a lot of problems. Other people think the area is more mysterious. Some people believe that aliens take ships. Other people think that a giant whirlpool pulls ships and planes under the sea. What do you think? Let's read the illustrations now. Here we have the Bermuda Triangle, Miami, Bermuda, and Puerto Rico. Is there a giant whirlpool? What is a whirlpool? This is a whirlpool in the Bermuda Triangle. Planes like these disappeared in 1945. Now we have another exercise. It says, number 2, read again and correct the sentences. All of these sentences have mistakes. Correct them and we will check them later in the class. Let's read them first. The Bermuda Triangle is in the Pacific Ocean. Only ships disappear in the area. The US Cyclops was a plane. 4. In 1945, a plane disappeared in the area. 5. Not many ships sail in the area. 6. The weather is always good in the area. So, again, these have mistakes. Cross them and write the corrections on top, as if you were a teacher. And later on, we will discuss in the class what you think that all of these things happen in the Bermuda Triangle for. On the next page, we're going to listen to an audio about a radio show called Mysteries of the Deep. And here we have some activities, 2 activities with the same listening. Here we have to put the names under the correct creature. Mermaids, Loch Ness Monster, and the Kraken. After that, we're going to listen again and write the names of the creatures next to the sentences. So here, you're going to write one of these three for an answer. So let's listen to the radio show.
Page 113. 1. Listen to the radio show Mysteries of the Deep and write the names of the creatures under the pictures.
Hello, and welcome to Mysteries of the Deep. This week, we are going to look at 4 creatures from the sea. Of course, these days, we know these creatures are not real, but many years ago, many people believed they were. Everyone knows what a mermaid is. Many years ago, sailors told stories about how they were helped by this creature, which is half woman and half fish. Christopher Columbus even said that he saw 3 of them on his way to discover America. A sea creature that liked to attack ships was the Kraken. This was a huge octopus that pulled ships down into the sea. These days, scientists have discovered a type of giant octopus that is 3.5 meters long. Was this the Kraken that ancient sailors were so scared of? Finally, the Loch Ness Monster. Different to the others, this monster doesn't live in the sea. It lives in a deep lake in Scotland. Every year, lots of tourists try to take photos of this long-necked creature. So far, no one has taken a photo to show that it exists. But you can find lots of photos on the internet. They are not real. Nobody knows if it really exists or not.
Okay, so after listening to that, we have an activity to do in your art notebook. In your art notebook, you're going to do this one. It says, draw a picture of a sea monster, give it a name, and write a few sentences about it. This is an example of another kid. He decided to do this drawing. And it says, this is a trifish. It has 3 heads and lots of teeth. If you catch a trifish, it is very bad luck. So today in your art notebook, you're going to make a drawing of your own sea monster. Invent something horrible and scary, and you're going to write a description and you're going to show it to your friends today in the webcam. At page 112, but now in the workbook, we have a text. It says, look and read. Write words to complete the sentences about the story. Are you ready? Let's begin. Grace Darling was born in 1815. She had 5 brothers and 3 sisters. When she was 10, her family moved to the island of Longstone on the northern coast of England. On the island, there was a lighthouse, and Grace's father was a lighthouse keeper. All the children helped the father to check the lamps. Some years later, her brothers and sisters left the island to get jobs. Only one brother stayed on the island with Grace and her parents. On the night of Wednesday, the 5th of September, a ship left the city of Hull. There were 60 people on board. On Thursday, the engines stopped in a storm, and the captain could not start them again. Early on Friday morning, the ship hit the rocks of a small island. The ship broke and 40 people fell into the icy water. The ship had a lifeboat, but only a few people could get into it. On Thursday night, the Darling family could hear the storm, and when they looked out of their home in the morning, they could see the broken ship. They could also see 9 people who were holding onto the rocks. Grace's brother was away, so Grace knew that only she and her father could save the people on the rock. Grace and her father got into the wooden boat, and after a long time they reached the people on the rock. As they reached the rock, her father jumped out to help the people. Grace stayed in the boat. She rowed very hard so that the waves didn't throw her boat against the rocks. They put 5 people into the boat and rowed to the lighthouse, when they made the trip again to save the rest of the people. Grace and her father became very famous. The town gave her a gold medal. The story was in all the papers, and Grace had lots of presents from people. Now, let's look at the question. Grace's parents had 9 children. Grace's family moved to an island when Grace was older. Only stayed with Grace and her parents on the island. The ship left whole with on board. When the ship hit the rocks, only a few people managed to. What's the meaning of managed to? Lograron o se las arreglaron para. Grace and her father, 9 people. People read about Grace, it's past. People read about Grace in the newspaper and sent her. Pause the video and find the answers in the text. We're going to check in a few minutes. Please do it. These are the answers. Please correct in case you have any mistakes. Grace's parents had 9 children. Grace's family moved to an island when Grace was 10. When Grace was older, only one brother stayed with Grace and the parents on the island. The ship left whole with 60 people on board. When the ship hit the rocks, it broke. Only a few people managed to get into the lifeboat. Grace and her father saved 9 people. People read about Grace in the newspaper and sent her presents. Now, do you remember the listening about the Loch Ness, the Kraken and mermaids? Well, we're going to match the sentences. Are you ready? So look at these ones and match the sentences according to what we heard in the listening.
Book, page 113. 1. Listen to the radio show Mysteries of the Deep and write the names of the creatures under the pictures.
Hello, and welcome to Mysteries of the Deep. This week, we're going to look at 4 creatures from the sea. Of course, these days, we know these creatures are not real, but many years ago, many people believed they were. Everyone knows what a mermaid is. Many years ago, sailors told stories about how they were helped by this creature, which is half woman and half fish. Christopher Columbus even said that he saw 3 of them on his way to discover America. A sea creature that liked to attack ships was the Kraken. This was a huge octopus that pulled ships down into the sea. These days, scientists have discovered a type of giant octopus that is 3.5 meters long. Was this the Kraken that ancient sailors were so scared of? finally, the Loch Ness Monster. Different to the others, this monster doesn't live in the sea. It lives in a deep lake in Scotland. Every year, lots of tourists try to take photos of this long-necked creature. So far, no one has taken a photo to show that it exists. But you can find lots of photos on the internet. They are not real. Nobody knows if it really exists or not.
So these are the answers of this exercise. Let's read them together. Many people have tried to take photos of the Loch Ness Monster. Christopher Columbus saw mermaids on his way to the Americas. The Kraken is a huge octopus that sinks ships. Scientists have found a giant octopus. The Loch Ness Monster doesn't live in the sea. Mermaids are half woman and half fish. Okay, so correct in case you have any mistakes. Now it's time for other writings that you will share with your friends later on with the class. Here we have a monster, an invented monster. The name of this monster is the Jamlup. Again, the Jamlup. Look at it. And look at it. You're going to write about the Jamlup and you're going to write and say what it does. Similar to the listening that we made about the Kraken and about the mermaids and about the Loch Ness Monster. You're going to invent all the things about the Jamlup. And you're going to read it to the class. Write it here in your workbook. And then we have a thinking problem. It says, look and read. Is a diver lying? Look at these. We have a vase. And it says 312 before Christ. A diver said he found a very old vase in the sea. On the vase were the number and letters 312 before Christ. What do you think? Is he lying or is he telling the truth? You decide. Last but not least, remember you have to do an illustration and you have to write texts, and all of this is going to be shared today in the class. You're going to show your illustration in the webcam, so please make sure you have all of these things before the class. All of the instructions are as usual in the PDF file that I've sent to your mom and dad yesterday. And I'll see you in a few minutes, okay? Bye!